Hello, I want to welcome you back to the channel, KT over VTV, and I'm your host, KT, the CCHT. And as you see, the title of this video is called The Day I Almost Gave Up on Dialysis and What Saved Me. I wasn't sure I was going to make it through. I was tired, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. But something changed. And that's what I want to share with you today. My breaking point was one day when when I found out I couldn't be on a transplant list and smoke marijuana at the same time. Marijuana was weed was getting me through. And I don't know, but when I found out I couldn't be on the transplant list and smoke street weed, I should say. Street weed is just something just snapped, and at that point I just didn't want to, I didn't want to get a transplant because I wanted to smoke weed. And I was, emotionally I was just depressed. I just didn't care no more. My daughter too will always ask me. It was a lot of stress too from, my daughter will always ask me, and she didn't know. She just wanted her dad off of, dialysis. But she would ask, Daddy, when you getting off of dialysis? When you getting off of dialysis? She was younger at the time. She was about, 5 or 6 years old. And my mom too. My mom was a little different because my mom knew the process of dialysis, but it's not like I could transplant myself with her own kidney. So she really wanted me to get off of dialysis, but like I would say, I can't transplant myself. I want to get off the machine too, but I can't just transplant myself. So it's just a lot of pressure from family members. But ironically, what saved me too is my mom wound up having a intervention. She gave me an intervention. She got my daughter's mother. She got my brothers, my sisters. And, they all sat down with me, I guess, and just had a talk and told me they really cared, and we really want you off the, really want you to, take care of yourself. We really want you to get better. And at that moment, it was a mental shift. Whereas like, I really wanted to get off the machine. I know God, I've been through this before, so I know he put this on my shoulders because I can handle it. So, it was just a mental shift in my head to like, you know what? You got to do this, brother. You know what I'm saying? You got to do this. And, God didn't, you've been through this before. You know how it go. Yeah, you're older. You're not a kid, but, you have to get it together. You have to get you have to get your mental together. And, so I prayed a lot. I prayed a lot, which helped also. I want to give some lesson for the viewers. Here's what I want you to know if you feel like giving up too. One is pray and get closer to God. have to talk to God, because he's always going to be there right with you along the way. And he didn't put nothing on you that he know you can't handle. 2 is find inspiration, whether that's in your kid, your future, your husband or your wife, or like I said, even yourself. Find that inspiration and hold on to it tight. And keep the faith. Understand God takes things from us to replace it with things that are better. So, if you ever felt like you're giving up, drop a comment. I read every single one. And I encourage you to, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you know anybody that's struggling, that's going through something right now, just talk to them. Be a friend. Be a listening ear. Because you never know what we going through at times, especially being on dialysis. But, this is just in the world today that we're living in. So, just be a listening ear to somebody. I want to thank you for, listening to this video and looking at this video. I'll be coming back with another video. Reorganization, Transformation to Transplantation is an ebook. I got out. I'm working on a paper copy, paperback or paper copy. But right now I got an ebook. The link is going to be in the description below. And like I said, if you like this video, you got any inspiration from it, just like, comment, and subscribe. It'll really help the channel. Thank you, and God bless. Hello, I want to welcome